So you want to make sure that as the days, weeks, and months of this year go by, that you are progressively getting better and better and better at soccer. But how do we actually do this? Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you some ideas and some things that if you implement these ideas will help you to continue to get better and better as the year goes along. Okay, so in this video, we will be going over 6 ideas that I think if you put all of these together and make sure you do all 6 of these things, that you can't help but have an amazing year this year in 2017 for soccer, or any year that you may be watching this. So let's get right into it to idea number 1. Now this one is really important, and this is one that if you don't actually do this one and you don't figure this one out, it's gonna basically have all the other ones fall apart. So you need to know this one. And number 1 is know where you are. And what I mean by that is know what your current ability level is. How good are you right now? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Are you in shape? Are you not in shape? How good is the team you're on? Things of this nature. You need to know exactly what level you're on right now. And there's an important reason for this, because once you're aware where you currently are, then you can start setting goals to where you can go. But if you don't know where you are right now and you're trying to get here, well, it's hard to make a plan if you don't know where you are. But if you know you're right here, for example, then you can make a plan to go there. So first one is just make sure you know where you are. So the second one is actually following up on that. It's where do you want to go? What are your goals? So once you figure out where you are, so let's say you're right here, you say I'm in decent shape, I'm a pretty good player, and when you're judging like where you are, be very honest. Don't be unconfident and say, well, I'm not that good when you are good, and don't be overconfident and think you're better than you are. You need to know exactly where you are and be very honest with yourself. But once you know that, you can know where you want to go, and that will show you 2 different levels, and it will give you a pathway to get there, or at least will develop a pathway to get there. But once you know where you are, know where you want to go. So maybe it's you want to play in college for this, or set a goal for this year. So maybe you're 17 and next year is college for you and you want to play at a D1 college. So that's your goal. And now you know where you are, so we can set goals in between. Maybe you just want to play on a better club team. Maybe you just want to get better at a certain area of your game. Whatever it is, know where you are and know where you want to go. Make sure you're very clear on both of these. Okay, so knowing where you want to go is basically your goals, like your long-term goals. And something that's going to help you with that is number 3, which is creating a 1-page soccer plan. Now what this is something I actually go over in my How to Have a Great 2017 for Soccer video. It's 2 parts. I'll leave a link in the description. We go into detail about this, but I'll briefly cover it right now. So 1-page plan is basically your 5 goals that you need to accomplish this year, your 5 soccer philosophies, and then your 5 sub-goals. You're gonna put this on 1 sheet of paper. I'll see if I can put like an image on the screen that gives you kind of an example of this. So your 5 goals that need to happen this year, these need to be like your big goals for the year. So like the team you want to get on, the fitness level you want to be at, the level you want to be at, period. You know, like, do you want to go play college at the end of the year? Do you want to be playing on a much better club team? You want 5 huge goals for you this year that need to happen. Don't put goals that I want to happen, put need to happen. There's a huge difference between saying I need this to happen and I kind of want this to happen. Okay, so the 5 goals you need to happen. So you're going to write those down. Then in the middle of the page, you're going to put your top 5 soccer philosophies. So these are things like, I want to be a hardworking player. I want to be a player that never gives up, that is always positive, that even when I fail, I'm able to pick myself up. So you're going to put 5 philosophies like that. For example, maybe one of them would be, like I said, or you could say something like, I am an extremely confident player who believes in their own ability. That could be one of them. You'll come up for 5 of your own, 5 that means something to you, 5 of what you want to be. These are not things you have to be right now. So let's say you want to become an unpredictable player, but you're not really an unpredictable player now. Still put that in your soccer philosophies, because these are things we want you to develop. So you're going to put 5 of those. Under that, you're going to put 5 sub-goals. Now, these sub-goals will be related to those goals we put earlier. So, for example, let's say your goal is I want to make a higher level team, like a club team. One of your sub-goals could be attend at least 4 different tryouts with club teams that are better than the one I'm on right now. It's a sub-goal that's going to help you get to that bigger goal, okay? So these sub-goals, these 5 sub-goals are all going to be goals that help you get to those bigger goals. They're gonna be smaller goals, but by accomplishing them, they move you forward and closer to those bigger goals, okay? So that's a one-page plan, basically a general overview. Again, I highly recommend you take a look at the How to Make 2017 Your Best Year Yet for soccer. I'll put the link to both videos in the description. They're longer videos, but it's gonna give you everything you need to succeed this year for soccer, and it goes over the one-page plan in detail as well if you want more info on that. Okay, and with the one-page plan, the important thing with that is you're going to actually look over it every single morning. Remember, what you focus your attention on is what you're gonna get. So by looking at that every single morning, you're going to be reminding yourself of what you're trying to accomplish this year, which makes it much more likely that throughout the day, you're going to be taking action toward those goals. So every morning, you want to just quickly read over your one-page plan so you can be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. What can I do today to move closer towards that goal? Number 4 is you want sub-goals towards your bigger goals. Now, we already briefly mentioned this in the one-page plan, but we're gonna kind of go in a little further into this. So for every goal you have, every big goal you have, so again, let's use the example of you want to get on a college team. You need to have sub-goals that lead up to that big goal, because it's no good to just say, here I am, here's my goal, let's get there. You need these sub-goals in between that every time you hit one, it gets you closer to that goal. Now, there's a few reasons for this. I think the biggest reason and most helpful reason for me is it makes it manageable. Because if I have myself here and my big goal is, say, become a professional or something, that's a huge thing to do. And if I don't have a plan to get there, most likely I'm going to give up or not even try. But if I have a sub goal like, okay, I want to be, much better at this area by this time, I'm like, oh, I can do that. I practice and get to that point. And then I have another sub goal. I want to be in incredible shape by this time by following this program. Like, make it very specific. So I want to follow the Athlete Next program and be really fit by this point. I accomplished that sub goal. And once you've accomplished all these sub goals, they kind of build up to this bigger goal that you've set out for yourself. So for every big goal you have, make sure you have sub goals that lead up to it. Because again, if you have that, just these two things here I am and here's my goal, and you have nothing in between, you're not going to really get there because you don't know how to get there. You don't know the steps. You don't have steps in place. But by putting those steps in place for you, by experimenting with it, you will move closer to that ultimate goal. So for every big goal you have, make sure you have those progressive goals. Make sure you have those sub-goals that lead up to that bigger goal. Okay, 5 is another really important one that we actually cover in those videos I have in this, the description, and it's every single week you need to review what your plan is. So every single week, I use Sundays. You can use a different day. I just like to use Sunday. For 20-30 minutes, just look over what your goals are. Look over your habits. Look at the things you're doing and assess them. Think to yourself, are these things helping me? What is benefiting me? What is not? What is working? What isn't? And every single Sunday or Monday or whatever day, you can fine tune what you're doing so you can get closer to your goals. Because you'll find a lot of time you're doing things that you think are helping you achieve your goals, but are actually not. And you're only gonna realize that if you reflect and assess every single week. And by doing that, you save yourself so much time, because let's say you don't do this and for a month you've been doing something to only find out that it's not helping you in any way. Well, then you've wasted a month doing that. But if you do it for a week and you look at it and you go, well, is this really benefiting me? Is it moving me closer to my goal? Or can I put something else in its place that's going to help me more than it's helping me? And by doing this, you're gonna fine tune your habits, you're gonna fine tune your behavior to really start hitting those goals that you want. So pick a day every single week that you're gonna reflect upon your goals, you're gonna reflect upon the actions that you're taking so that you can keep moving towards those bigger goals that you want to accomplish for yourself. Okay, and number 6 is simply implement what you've planned out for yourself. Take action. So in the first 5, it's basically planning, right? We're planning on what we want to do. We want to know where we are, where we're going. We're making a one-page plan. We're making progressive goals and sub-goals for our bigger goals, things of this nature. This is all the planning stage. So the big thing is, it's really just in those 2 steps. It's planning and then implementing. A lot of people get stuck on one or the other. They either plan excessively and then really don't take action, which makes all that planning useless. They know what they need to do, but they're not doing it. Or they just take action without a direction. Now, you need both. If you take action without direction, you're basically just in a dark room kind of feeling around trying to get to your goal, but you're blinded. By having that direction, you kind of light up the room, if that makes sense, and make the goal crystal clear and make it so that you can get to it. Think of it this way. Think of trying to go through a maze in the dark. It would be incredible. It would be completely impossible, right? But your planning kind of lights up that maze and shows you the path. Yes, you'll have roadblocks. Yes, you'll hit dead ends sometimes, but you can keep going back. While if you're kind of feeling around in the dark, you could be feeling around in the same spot forever without really realizing it. So you need to have both. You need to have the plan in place and then take the action. If you don't have one or the other, you're really not going to get closer to your goals. So remember, the first 5 are the planning, which is really important because the planning makes you aware of what you're trying to do and what you need to do. And that awareness and having your attention on that is really important. But then of course you need to have the bravery to then actually take the action and implement. So once you have the plan in place, you're like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. Then you need to instill the discipline and the bravery to actually go forth with it. And if you do that, I can promise you this is going to be an amazing year for you. Okay guys, so combining everything that I went over with you in this video will ensure that you have a year where you're getting progressively better and better as the year goes on and not flatlining or getting worse. The fact is most people flatline and they have most years like they did the previous year, or in some cases they even get worse as the year goes along because your body, if you're not looking after it, gets out of shape, and other things like that. So be someone who is progressively getting better as the year goes by. Yes, this will take a bit of work, but you'll be amazed at what like a few months of discipline can do for you and goal setting can do for you. In a few months, if you do things like this, you could be a completely different player at a whole different level if you actually stick with it. Okay guys, so I really want to make sure you make this the best year for you yet for your soccer career. So make sure you're doing this, you're using this strategy, you're planning out, and then you're taking action. Again, I will have the 2 videos in the description that go over how the long version of this more in depth. We go over ideas like the 1-page plan in more in depth, progressive goal planning more in depth, scheduling and taking action more in depth. So if you're really interested in learning more about this kind of topic, definitely go in the description and watch those 2 parts, and make sure you take notes as well. If you're really serious about making this year your best yet, seriously go watch those 2 videos. Alright guys, so make sure you come back tomorrow for a brand new training video. Thank you for watching this one. Make sure you like and share this video as well. Make sure you hit that bell button as well to be a part of the notification squad. It just makes sure that you don't miss any of my videos because YouTube's doing this weird thing where even if you're subscribed, sometimes you don't see them. So hit that bell to make sure you get every single one of my videos. Also, if you're new to Simply Soccer, you can hit that subscribe button. We release a video every single day that the goal of them is to help you improve as a soccer player. I'm gonna have 2 videos come across the screen that are gonna help you even more if you wanna go watch them, and I'll see you on the next video.